My presentation is on why you should wear a helmet on a motorcycle. So the Federal Highway Administration in 2023 reports that more than 9.89 million motorcycles are registered in the United States and District of Columbia. They make a large portion not only in the United States, but also the rest of the world's modes of transportation. They can be convenient and their aesthetics play a role in a lot of people's decision on owning one. Some people take it a step farther and with their aesthetic and ride with no helmet due to not believing them. Yet evidence shows the importance of wearing a helmet to reduce injury and fatality. So how does wearing a helmet prevent injury and what are those injuries? So first, how does a helmet work to prevent injury? The Cleveland Brain Institute states that helmets are mainly designed to dissipate force. The hard shell on a helmet spreads the impact force over a larger area, so the impact is less on a singular spot of the skull, therefore reducing damage to the brain. The main goal of a helmet is to prevent head injuries, but they can also protect the user's face from road rash by decreasing the direct contact with the concrete. So what injuries can occur while on a motorcycle? Singleton states that there are a multitude of injuries that can occur on a motorcycle accident, including but not limited to broken bones, concussions, road rash, amputations, burns, internal bleeding, traumatic brain injuries, and eye injuries. Yet a helmet's main purpose is to protect your head and brain. So the chances of injury can directly decrease with the use of a helmet. Some common examples of head-related injuries are traumatic brain injuries, skull fractures, and intracranial hemorrhages. So all of these can be fatal and lead to disability if severe enough, as stated by Al-Hussein. So a study done by Singleton in 2016 showed that motorcycle helmets associated with a 69% reduction in skull fractures, 71% reduction in cerebral brain contusions, and a 53% reduction in intracranial hemorrhages compared without a helmet. So statistically, wearing a helmet drastically reduces the chance of injury. Yet many people believe that a helmet is not necessary on a motorcycle. One counter argument could be made. So one may say that motorcycle riders only account for 14% of all traffic facilities, although a study done by the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration states that motorcycles account for only 3% of registered vehicles. Bieber states that motorcycles account for 14% of crashes, with being only 3% of the driving population. So with that information, it shows that motorcyclists are at a higher risk for being in a crash. With a study done in 2014 by Fagnet, U.S. motorcycle crashes are 68% higher per vehicle mile traveled than those of other vehicles, and their fatality crash rate is more than 28 times higher. So with crashes being at a higher rate, it is important to wear a helmet to help prevent injury and lessen your chance of fatality in a potential crash. Someone else could also say that helmets are too much money. So although helmets can cost a pretty penny and be as much as in the thousands, J.D. Power states that on average they only cost about $100 to $200. So economically, it's still a smarter decision to buy a helmet compared to medical bills, assisted devices, and rehabilitation therapies that you would have to pay for with most injuries. Where just the hospital bill for someone admitted to the ICU with an intracranial hemorrhage on average was over $118,000, taken from a study done in 2 different hospitals in the U.S. in 2018, stated by Fernando. So economically, it is much more affordable to buy even the most expensive helmet and wear it than risking having to pay an exponential amount in hospital bills alone. So although some people believe that you do not have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle, evidence shows that it can greatly reduce your chances of fatality or injury as well as costs. So altogether, helmets are an important part of safety when riding a motorcycle. Helmets work by spreading out the blow of the impact, consequently decreasing the blunt impact on someone's skull. They protect the head from serious injuries such as traumatic brain injuries, skull fractures, and intracranial hemorrhages. Not only is it statistically smarter for injury and fatality prevention, but is also a smarter choice economically. Overall, it's better be safe than sorry, so wear a helmet and prevent something you can never change. Thanks for listening.